with the white, with the black acoustic guitar. I just had to switch it up and keep it inside today with the black electric guitar. And I want to do a theory lesson, but I want to cover a theory that I already talked about on video yesterday. But one thing is to talk about it, but that might just go over people's heads, so I wanted to show you with a guitar in my hand the same ideas that I've been thinking of. Maybe that'll help get it in, to people, reach more people with it, because sometimes it's a visual thing too, and sometimes you got to hear it, not just hear my talking. So first I want to start with the four primary way, the only four ways of permutating 7 notes without having a diminished third or an augmented third are basically the major scale, harmonic major scale, harmonic minor scale, and melodic minor scale. Now the major scale can be on C. We're talking about white notes. Might as well start there. Harmonic major can be on C. Now the harmonic minor can be starting with a harmonic minor in A, so we'll still keep it in C, only it'll be the third mode of A harmonic minor, not A harmonic minor itself, but it'll be covered. And then C melodic minor. All four permutations of 7 notes can all be started on C with only one alteration or none, whichever case you're talking about. I'd like to talk about that first, and then I'll go into one other thing that I mentioned, and then we'll be done. So, okay, so let's say I'm in C, say we're in C, and of course the C major scale is just the C major scale starting on C. So, there's lots of ways to play that, but I just did it on the high string starting on C, so you can work that out. Or you there you have it. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 starting at C. That's one of the four permutations, is to just keep it unaltered. The next one I'd like to talk about is harmonic major. Well, that you just flat the 6, which is A. So you make C, D, E, F, G, A flat, B, C. So it's a major scale with a flat 6. Let's try that in C. Okay, the next notation I want to talk about is harmonic minor. We'll be in A harmonic minor, but we'll start it on C, the third mode of A harmonic minor, which makes it C Ionian augmented. So let's try that. It's just a C major scale with a G sharp. Let's C, D, E, F, G sharp, A, B, C. That's very cool. This is just a C Ionian augmented, which covers the A harmonic minor scale, because C Ionian augmented is the third mode of A harmonic minor scale. The last one is, with the four permutations, is melodic minor. I'll do C melodic minor. That's just C major scale with a flat third, or E flat. So it would be C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B, C. Let's try that. Okay, so that's the four. As long as melodic minor, harmonic major, and major scale are covered, that's all four. It doesn't have to be the one. In the case of, I did A harmonic minor, And even though that's not starting on C, but I did the third mode of it, which is C Ionian augmented, which still covers a harmonic minor, and so it represents that scale. So all 4 scales are represented, all starting on C, which I think is really cool. And if you want another key, just start it on any of the other 11 keys, but you don't have to change the roots around to get the same scales as the way I figured it out yesterday. Adam Holdsworth does the same kind of thing, but first of all, he uses D instead of C, which is basically Dorian. I don't like that. It makes me, once I go to Dorian, I just want to play Dorian. I don't want to change it, so it doesn't work for me. And not only that, he cluttered the mess by adding 4 other scales that were just jazz scales, or 8-note scales. We add a note to the 7-note scale. That ruins it to me. And the last 2 to make 10 were the mix with the diminished scale and maybe if you call it a double diminished scale, because it's 2 diminished 7th arpeggios in either perfect fifth or half-step relation, and then what I would call a triple augmented scale, which is 3 augmented triads in consecutive, either chromatic or circle of fifth succession. Well, the last 2 aren't necessary. Plus, if you want to do that, just do the Machon modes, and there's a lot more, and you didn't cover it all because there are like 7 Machon modes. So there's that, Olivier Machon, and then the jazz scales nobody uses, and I don't. And then the four permutations, he starts on D, which clutters it because I really don't want to think of Dorian as the start of it. He does, but I don't. I want to use C major and then alter from there. He does D Dorian. And not only that, a couple of his alterations, 2 of them in fact, 2 of the 4 require more than one alteration, more than one accidental or sharp or flat, which mine's more efficient because I never do more than 1 flat or sharp in any of the 4 permutations. It's either clean and no sharps and no flats, or it's, in this case, 2 of them are flat and 1 of them is sharp, but there's never a double sharp, or there's never 2 sharps or 2 flats in the scale, because that kind of makes it not that related to the original mode you're starting on. But anyway, he's got his thing, I've got mine, so whatever. Now this thing I want to talk about is what I said about the analysis of blues music. Now I'm going to use A blues because it's the relative minor of C major, and so I'm going to use this time instead of basing it on C, I'm going to base it on A, but it's going to be the relative minor of a C major. You know, C major pentatonic, relative minor of that is A minor pentatonic, C major scale, relative minor of that is A minor, or A Aeolian. We'll start on A. Anyway, let's do it where you can hear me and see me instead of just talking like I did on the video. Alright, blues, I'm going to be in A. Blues is a 7th chord, a dominant 7th chord on the 1, 4, and the 5. So let's focus on the 1 and the 4 for now. Forget about the 5. You don't even need the, well, right, the 1 and 4 are more important anyway for blues, for some dumb reason. It's 5 and 1 for classical, but it's 1 and 4 for blues. I don't know. So the 1 chord is A dominant 7, or 7th. It's not really dominant 7. People can say that because they're lazy. A dominant 7. Sharp, and it has a G. So let's focus on the G, on the C sharp. That's a major 3rd. But then when I go to the 4 chord, which is a D dominant 7, I get C, because C is the minor 7th of D. So just those 2 chords, I have on A, I have a minor 3rd above it, which is C, and a major 3rd above it, which is C sharp. I'm going to use the minor pentatonic as my basis for A bluesies. I'm going to add a C sharp, which is the major 3rd. So I've got now I not only have I don't just have 5 notes. I have 6 notes. I have a major 3rd. I call it a blue note, one of the blue notes. Okay, you have 6 notes already, and that because you have a major and a minor 3rd on A, the root of the blues progression. But now I'm going to do a trick. I figured this out on my own, but anyway, I'm not trying to. That's not the point. Let me just tell it to you. The A minor, the A minor pentatonic scale has a relative, which is the C major pentatonic scale. So and also that implies a C major chord. So let's play a C major chord, C major pentatonic scale. I'm going to do a trick here. Since I combined major and minor on the A chord, I'm going to combine major and minor on the C as well, even though it's kind of a stretch because I'm not really in C. But let's just assume that in blues you can play major and minor either at the same time or on top of each other or both. So I'm going to alter one. I'm going to add a note to the C major pentatonic scale, which makes it a C minor triad for the root, and that's going to be E flat. Okay, and I'll play that first. Remember E flat. That's important. So it's going to be let's see. Let me get this right here. I almost had it. No, I don't have it. Wait, let me get it right. Oh, I get it now. Okay. That's all. Okay, here we go. It's a C major pentatonic scale with a minor third added, which is the E flat. And guess what? We're going to play all that over A because that's the key we're really in, and that gives the C major pentatonic is already covered by A minor pentatonic, but the minor third in C, which is the E flat, gets to be the diminished fifth, or the flat 5 or tritone added to the minor pentatonic to make a blues scale. And that's interesting because that's where the blues note comes from. That's where the flat 5 comes from. Why you play flat 5 over a minor pentatonic scale is because it's the minor third of a triad that's of a major, relative major triad. So in A minor, you have C major, make that minor as C is E flat, and over A, E flat is the flat 5. So here's basically an A blues scale for me. We all know that scale. Okay, that makes 6 notes as well. So a minor pentatonic is only 5 notes, but you can add the major third, C sharp, 6th note, you can add the E flat, makes another, the flat 5 makes another note, which is 7 notes, and so we have 7 notes just starting with the 5-note pentatonic scale, but we're not totally done because you can fill in the gaps of that 5-note scale and make it into a Dorian. You can take the minor pentatonic in A and add the 9th and the 6th to make a Dorian mode. That gives you 2 more notes because A Dorian has 2 more notes than a minor pentatonic. So if you change the A minor pentatonic and make that A Dorian mode. That gives you 7 notes, but just a Dorian mode. So A Dorian. If you have the C sharp that we had talked about in blues, you have a mixed Dorian. It's just a combination of mixolydian and Dorian. It's a Dorian with a major third or added, or a mixolydian with a minor third added. But then if you add the flat, so that's 8 notes so far. But then if you add the flat 5 that I've just explained from the blues scale, you have 9 notes. So it's a mixolydian blues scale. Because I say blues because it has a flat 5. So basically it's 1. The formula A would be starting on A. 1, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. 9 notes, and the only 3 notes not involved are the flat 2 or flat 9, which is B flat, the major 7th, which is G sharp, and the F, which is the minor 6. So if you don't play a minor 6, you don't play a flat 2nd, you don't play a major 7th. But and if you start with 12 notes and take those 3 out, 12 minus 3 is 9, so you have all the other notes available. So you have 9 notes in a blues progression, and that's even more notes than usually go on in classical music at any given time. So be careful if you call blues simple music, because you actually use all but 3 notes of the whole chromatic scale, and it's just those 3 simple blues progression chords. I love you guys. Peace, rock and roll.